Vanakkam Gaudevada. Happy to be with everyone. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Mavid Vishava Hai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we'll share the screen here. May 7th in Asia. Oh, must be the Ganesha Homa in Mauritius this morning, where some of our devotees are. Our first topic for May 7th, let's see what it is. A question sent to satsang@hindu.org. Interesting question. What are the similarities and differences between Stoicism, capital S, and affectionate detachment, other than a belief in God? So we'll start the answer to this question by presenting the publisher's desk. So, Stoicism and affectionate detachment. So we're going to review the basics of affectionate detachment as first part of the answer. Movies often depict a son or daughter who, now an adult, holds deep-seated hard feelings toward one or both parents for things that happened while growing up. For example, in one emotional film scene, a daughter rattles off a long list of unhappy interactions with her mother. When I was 10 years old, you did this to me, and then on my 12th birthday that happened. When I was 15, you did this. When I was 20, I brought a boy home and you were unkind to him. When I was 22, this happened, etc. Piling up early reactions is as natural as it is debilitating. As grown-ups, we can continue adding to our subconscious stockpile of you did this to me resentments. Recently, I spoke to a man who was filled with resentment about how unfairly his business partners had treated him. His mind was totally absorbed in the past. One partner cheated me by doing this 4 years ago. 2 years ago, another partner did that, and last month, this happened. Did the son or daughter demonstrate any good feelings toward the parents? Did the businessman like or disrespect his partners? Like or respect his partners? No. They were only disturbed feelings between them. There was no affection. It was unaffection. Was there attachment to the hurtful memories? Yes. There was powerful clinging to the past and frequent mental rehashing of unsavory events. In other words, what you think about often from the past, you're attached to, be it positive or negative. So we don't want to be attached to negative events in the past, so we're constantly rehashing them every week. I call this common condition unaffectionate attachment. It is a state of mind filled with bitterness, misunderstandings, bad memories, and even grudges. Anyone can fall into this abyss. Some live there throughout life. So if we become overwhelmed by past acrimonies, we need to learn how to extract ourselves. Extraction. Gurudeva emphasized the art of working with the mind's natural tendencies as a fundamental part of spiritual life. When the aspirant is able to meet ordinary happenings and respond to them in the effortless wisdom born of detachment, that indicates that his striving is genuine. When he is able to encounter conditions that send ordinary people into states of disappointment or discouragement, and when his emotional nature indicates mastery over these lesser states of consciousness, he is well on his way toward filling the gaps of a natural growth of the instinctive vehicles, body, emotions, and intellect. To maintain equilibrium on the path, we need to clear the subconscious mind of such negative attachments, which I am calling unaffectionate attachments. The presence of significant unaffectionate attachments in the subconscious will cause the mind to constantly dwell on the past. It is not hard to understand that this hampers our creativity and progress in the present, diminishing our quality of life. One of the victims is our ability to meditate. Unresolved emotional issues in the subconscious can make it impossible to quiet the thinking process when sitting for meditation. In his Yoga Sutras, Patanjali addresses these blockages as externalizing samskaras that need to be transformed. Memories that throw our awareness into the external world, externalizing samskaras. Gurudeva gave some specific practices for removing them from the mind. We all know the primary one is Vasanadaha Tantra, known as journaling in Western terminology. He defined it as writing down the events that we are troubled by and then burning the paper in an ordinary, non-ceremonial fire. Watching our concerns, our hurts, our negative recollections disappear in the flames is cathartic, impressing the mind with the possibility of riddance of past traumas. We can even write and burn letters to people that we hold animosity against. So for those who don't know, that's our burning urn. It's in the front of the monastery there. And there's even local people in the neighborhood that we don't even know. They come on a regular basis and burn. So it's a community service that we didn't expect it to be. This simple practice is effective in removing from the subconscious mind unaffectionate attachments to past experiences. It needs to be said that we don't forget those past hurts and unfairnesses. Rather, the negative emotion is dissolved, released, or burned away. Watching the paper burn is helpful in achieving this result. For deep-seated hurts, the writing and burning may need to be repeated several times. For powerful traumatic memories, such as being frequently beaten by a parent, simply writing it down may not be sufficient. The negative impression or samskara of such painful experiences may be so deep that you have to do something physical to achieve release. For such instances, Gurudeva has given the flower prayaschitta, or penance. It consists of putting up in the shrine room a picture of the person you are resenting, and then every day for 31 days, placing a flower in front of the picture and, in that moment, sincerely forgiving him or her. So that's a second method for getting rid of unaffectionate attachment. What happens when we perform practices like Vasanadaha Tantra and the flower penance? We arrive at stage 2, unaffectionate detachment. We still don't like the person, but at least we are not thinking about them all the time in a negative way. We have detached ourselves partially. We have no fondness, no love, but we are no longer dwelling endlessly on the past. We have understood the situation. Returning to our movie example, in the next scene, the mother responds to the daughter's outburst. "I did the best I could in raising you." Suddenly, the daughter accepts that, realizing her mother had her own challenges and was not perfect, and it was unrealistic for her to expect a perfect childhood. They had now reached an understanding that released the attachment, but still it didn't awaken affection. They had a cold relationship. Of course, that is not the goal. The goal is affectionate detachment, not unaffectionate detachment. Early in his ministry, Gurudeva gave a deceptively simple method for cultivating affectionate detachment. The best way to keep the actinic, spiritual, force flowing through the physical body is practicing the art of giving, doing little things for others you have not been asked to do. That's not difficult, right? Doing little things for others that you have not been asked to do. Try it yourself and you will find that, yes, it does work. It actually takes us from unaffectionate detachment to affectionate detachment. Builds up love and good feelings toward those to whom we had hard feelings in the past. Of course, one act of giving doesn't change everything, but repeated over and over again, offering little gifts, doing things for others that they don't anticipate, changes the feelings between people, creates more love, more kindness, and warmth. This is an important practice to incorporate as a perpetual behavior, because there is always the opportunity for new hard feelings to develop in life. Harmony is something we have to work at the rest of our life, because we will be interacting with people the rest of our life. For those on the spiritual path, getting along with people, ensuring that new hard feelings don't develop, is an essential part of karma management. The resultant harmony is empowering, but Gurudeva takes it even further. He says, it eventually leads to greater actinic understanding. That means we not only have good, kind feelings about others, but we also understand their nature. Part of the reason we don't get along with some people is that we just don't understand them. A natural assumption is that everyone is like me. In reality, you may not meet anyone just like you your whole life. People are different, sometimes very different. If we are unaware of such differences, misunderstandings and hard feelings can arise. Our attitudes and interactions naturally improve when we are aware of the differences, sensitivities, needs, and limitations of others. When the attitudes of affectionate detachment are the daily norm, not only do we have kindly feelings toward others, but we also understand them in an intuitive, actinic way. It is not an intellectual analysis. It is an intuitive sense of who a person is, what karmas he or she has brought into this life. And because we appreciate that person's nature, we make allowances and get along with them better. That completes the process of achieving affectionate detachment. We start with unaffectionate attachment, and then move to unaffectionate detachment. From there we move to affectionate detachment, which comes in 2 stages. Very precise summary, huh? First stage is expressing more love and kindness toward others. Second stage is understanding others more clearly, cognizing the nature of our family, friends, and acquaintances in an intuitive way, from the inside out, and therefore loving them more and being able to get along with them better. The deeper truth is that we are learning about ourselves the whole time, and our inner challenges are reflected in our relationships. Basically, we're trying to learn to get along with ourselves from a mystical point of view. Oh, now we're moving beyond the pub desk here. Our Himalayan Academy lexicon gives this definition for affectionate detachment, which nicely reflects the previous summary of the publisher's desk. The power and wisdom of love born of understanding, not becoming engrossed in the problems or negative attachments of others. As opposed to running away from the world or being insensitively aloof. Affectionate detachment allows you more genuine, wholesome relationships with people and things. So we're very loving, but we're not attached. And for information on Stoicism, capital S, I turn to chat. Stoicism is a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and was developed by thinkers such as Zeno of Citium, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. It is a philosophy that emphasizes the importance of personal ethics and the development of inner strength and resilience. At its core, Stoicism teaches that we cannot control external events, but we can control our own reactions to them. By focusing on what we can control, such as our own thoughts and actions, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and happiness, even in difficult circumstances. So Stoicism with a small s is a character quality, and is generally only described in facing difficult situations. For example, Stoicism as a character quality refers to the ability to maintain emotional resilience in the face of adversity, to remain calm and composed in the midst of difficult circumstances, and to approach challenges with a sense of clarity and rationality. It involves being able to control one's emotions and reactions to events and to maintain a steady and consistent demeanor even in the face of uncertainty or hardship. A person who embodies Stoicism as a character quality is often seen as disciplined, level-headed, and unflappable. They are able to maintain a sense of perspective even when things are going wrong, and they approach challenges with a sense of equanimity and rationality. This quality is often associated with a sense of inner strength and resilience and is highly valued in many different areas of life, including in personal relationships, in the workplace, and in leadership roles. So that is similar to the concept I described by imperturbability. Cannot be perturbed. Whatever happens, you have imperturbability. You cannot be disturbed by anything. So it's a good quality. As a philosophy, Stoicism teaches that pleasure and joy are fleeting and impermanent, and therefore not to be pursued as ultimate goals in life. However, as a character quality, a Stoic may still experience pleasure and joy, but their inner reactions to these emotions will be tempered by their commitment to rationality and self-control. Stoic would not be ruled by their emotions. It would not become overly attached to pleasure and joy, but would appreciate and enjoy them in the moment while maintaining a sense of detachment and perspective. They may acknowledge their feelings of pleasure or joy, but they would not become overly attached to them, nor would they allow them to dictate their actions or decisions. For example, if a Stoic were to receive good news, they might feel a sense of happiness or excitement, but they would not allow this emotion to cloud their judgment or lead them to make impulsive decisions. Instead, they would remain grounded and rational and approach the situation with a clear and objective mindset. Comparison. Affectionate detachment and Stoicism have more in common. They may be seen at first glance. The end result of each has the common quality of being able to handle difficult situations with detachment. Gurudeva emphasized the art of working with the mind's natural tendencies as a fundamental part of spiritual life. When the aspirant is able to meet ordinary happenings and respond to them in an effortless wisdom born of detachment, that indicates that his striving is genuine. It's a repeat, of course. When he is able to encounter conditions that send ordinary people into states of disappointment or discouragement, and when his emotional nature indicates mastery over these lesser states of consciousness, he is well on his way toward filling the gaps of a natural growth of the instinctive vehicles, body, emotions, and intellect. Comparison continued. Affectionate detachment is more focused on achieving harmonious relationships with others through resolving negative attachments with them and practicing giving and understanding in our interactions with them. So we're focused on harmonizing our relationships and keeping relationships harmonized through giving and understanding. The path to achieving the state of affectionate detachment is mapped out as resolving the past resentments and then building harmony through giving and understanding, right? For Stoicism, the write-ups I read do not explain how a follower of Stoicism achieves his mastery over reactions to experiences, so we can't really compare that side of it. How do you achieve this state of Stoicism in the philosophy of Stoicism? We don't know. So we can't have a complete comparison. But you can see there are similarities in the end result. But definitely affectionate detachment is focused more on relationships with people and harmonizing them and keeping them in harmony. Okay. Second topic here, truthfulness, 63rd character quality. One more to go. Our character building workbook. How would you define truthfulness? The workbook gives this definition. Truthfulness means being factually accurate and forthright. Interesting. Forthright. Not just hiding things. I cultivate it by not lying or practicing deception or misrepresenting or withholding facts. The opposite is untruthfulness. And Gurudeva's quote, Satya is a restraint, and as one of the 10 restraints, it ranks importance as number 2. Number 1, of course, is nonviolence, ahimsa. When we restrain our tendencies to deceive, to lie, and break promises, our external life is uncomplicated, as is our subconscious mind. Honesty is the foundation of truth. It is ecologically, psychologically purifying. And second quote, only by rejecting the apparent opposites, likes and dislikes, hates and love, can true truthfulness, which is a quality of the soul, burst forth again and be there in full force as it is within an innocent child. Comparing the actions of one who is truthful to one who is untruthful. First situation, having witnessed a crime being committed at your company and called to testify in court, you. Truthfulness, tell the whole truth without hesitation, even though it may jeopardize your job. Untruthfulness, just tell enough of what you saw to satisfy the prosecutor, trying to avoid saying anything that might get you fired. Second situation, having received an average grade on a test in school, you. Truthfulness, confide in mom and dad that you didn't do as well as you had hoped. Untruthfulness, give the impression that you achieved a high grade, knowing that they will never see the actual test results. Third situation, when a friend asks you to keep something secret that really should be known, you. Truthfulness, explain openly that you cannot, in good conscience, keep the matter secret. Untruthfulness, promise you will keep it a secret, knowing you will have to later disclose the matter to others. Not good. Reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in truthfulness. And the assignment. During these 2 weeks, watch for the tendency to exaggerate, being careful to be accurate when describing your experiences or accomplishments to others. Oh, thank you very much. Oh.